Now, what happens in life when you're faced with something that's outmoded? Well, in America, there's an old Dakota Indian saying that's passed down from generation to generation. And that saying is, if you find you're riding a dead horse, you get off, right? Best strategy is to dismount. Now, in life, sometimes when we're faced with that, there are other alternatives, usually ineffective. You can get a stronger whip. You can harness several dead horses together to see if they increase the speed. Productivity study, maybe a lighter rider. But the point is, when myths no longer apply, you need to get new myths. So what I'm proposing today is 5 new myths for the East-West financial order. First myth is that it's no longer market freedom is the highest good, but market freedom and state capitalism. The West, we heard from some speakers yesterday, is probably moving to less government intervention, but certainly Asia in some ways benefited during the crisis by higher elements of regulation, and also I think by some forms of state capitalism. The international monetary system is no longer going to be just a blue bird world or a US dollar world. It will be a blue and red booby bird world. So you'll have the US dollar and the RMB coexisting. I don't think the RMB eventually probably will become the world's reserve currency, but that takes time, and I don't think it'll happen in the next 40 years. The third is that East now represents manufacturing, innovation, and capital. And the West, innovation and capital. The fourth is that Chinese banks set the pace. And the fifth is that Taiwan is the world's best bridge to China. Now, again, myths do not have to be true, but they have to have the element of truth and potentiality, and they can become true. So these are the 5, and let me go through just a few of them quickly. First one, RMB. RMB is on track to become Asia's major trading currency, but it's a long time to become a reserve currency. So it's probably decades. Next is Asia manufactures, innovates, and has capital. Supply chains in Asia are regionalizing now. This is an example of Foxconn supply chain. Taiwan does the process design. China's the main hub of manufacturing. India, Vietnam, and Malaysia do some of the labor-intensive components and assembly, and Japan does the high-end repair. So what you have in Asia now is the complete supply chain. And what is enabling that? What is enabling that is that the level of innovation in Asia has increased dramatically. This chart shows the change in annual number of US patents per million population over the last, from 1998 to 2008, the rough decade. And what you see, interestingly, Taiwan in some ways is the most innovative country in the world in terms of its change. Currently today, patents per head, Taiwan is the most innovative country in the world. So with this innovation now, Asia can have a complete supply chain within Asia. And then looking at capital, an extraordinary change. What this graph shows is the FDI, foreign direct investment outflow from China. China regularly would get in the 150 billion range of inflow, but if you see this chart, 2008 and 9, 56 and 57 billion in foreign direct investment outflow. It's an extraordinary change from a capital receiving capital to actually generating and investing capital. Third then, myth is that the Chinese banks set the pace.